If Jesus is a king, what sort of kingdom can we look forward to? I'm Pastor Chris from Trinity Lutheran, out at Luthercrest, asking some questions today. So I am on spiritual retreat here, on a silent retreat here for a couple days now talking, and been finishing up a paper that's due at the end of the semester and trying to sit quietly and then let that go and release it and maybe spend some time reconnecting with God. And in the midst of that, I'm going to be preaching here in a few days, and we're thinking about Christ the King Sunday. And of course, we've come full circle in the church year. And also we're coming full circle in the year. And we have had some pretty big things continuing to happen in our political sphere, in our social sphere as a nation, in our community, all over the place. And folks have different opinions. And of course, that's where my research lies. So I've been thinking about that as well. And a fruitful place to spend a little time, especially on Christ the King Sunday, is to think a little bit more deeply about Christ is indeed a king, but his kingdom is not of this world. And while we work to make that kingdom happen in this world, we are looking forward to another kingdom, one that actually contradicts the kingdoms and the kings of this world quite explicitly, which means it does us well to think about what that kingdom is that we look forward to. You've heard me say lately that I think a really important consideration in the Christian faith life is that we do indeed have to live this life. That is not something that we have a choice about. We have a choice about many, many, many things. But existence is one of those where it's either a gift or a curse. Either way, we have it. And to that end, that actually says a lot about our God. In the book of Revelation, we hear that it will be a kingdom where every tear is wiped away. In Isaiah, we hear that the lion will lie down with the lamb. Jesus over and over states the simple fact: the low will be brought up. The lowly will be lifted. Mary sings that song. Elizabeth sings that song. Miriam sings that song. And Moses experiences it, and all of Israel experiences it, and Christians experience it. When we encounter Jesus, we are lifted. We are lifted up out of the worldly logic into something bigger. A kingdom where people's needs are met. A kingdom where forgiveness is the rule, but not a rule that needs to be enforced, but rather one that occurs naturally in relationship. A kingdom where love and family are headed up by the one who is love, who has brought the whole family together, where we live together in community. We get some glimpses of that community a lot of times, at least I do, at the holidays, right? And of course, it's also a time of family fights and of stress and of anxiety and all those things. But we often get a glimpse of people coming together, setting things aside to celebrate what is true and beautiful. Love, thanks, gratitude, with Thanksgiving coming up. Jesus coming into the world, sanctifying the world, showing that God loved us and loves us and will love us. At the holidays, we often have a chance to get some glimpses of that community. And then, of course, we open up our homes and we invite people into our homes. We invite family, but also friends and neighbors, and we share of that gratitude and goodness with others. These are also marks of the kingdom, right? What does it say about us as Christians? How can we show that kingdom forth? Because everything I just mentioned contradicts the systems in the world that we live in. Gifts shared without strings. When's the last time that happened naturally in the world? Markets that rise on relationship and not profit? Like, no, it's not a thing. Influence and power used for service. Yeah. I mean, all those things contradict the world that we live in. So it's good to remember that our King is one who makes a kingdom that is utterly what we need and utterly what we cannot create, but we can bring glimpses of it into fruition. I'm Pastor Chris out of camp, signing off for now.